Activist Dr. Diana Karpophoros is in fact goddess Demeter. In the gleaming offices of the Eleusinian Foundation, Dr. Diana Karpophoros stands before a wall of monitors displaying real-time data from endangered ecosystems around the world. Her fingers trace patterns across the screens that look like casual gestures, but are actually ancient symbols of power. Her rings, crafted from sacred gold and twisted into shapes of wheat stalks, glowing faintly as they work small magics to heal blighted lands. To the world, she's the brilliant and controversial founder of one of the largest ecological conservation organizations on the planet. To those who know the truth, she is Demeter, the ancient goddess of agriculture, fighting a modern battle to save the very essence of life on Earth. Diana moves through the modern world like a force of nature, barely contained in human form. Her business suits are always earth-toned and made from organic materials. Her honey blonde hair, either worn in a crown of intricate braids or flowing free like fields of wheat in the wind. She appears to be in her early 40s, old enough to command respect in corporate boardrooms, young enough to spend days in the field. Her eyes shift color with her moods, green as summer leaves when pleased, dark as fertile soil when angry, gold as ripe wheat when working her powers. The Eleusinian Foundation's public mission is ambitious enough, reversing climate change, fighting against industrial agriculture's worst excesses, preserving heirloom seed varieties, and protecting threatened farmland, but its true purpose goes far deeper. Behind the modern offices and scientific laboratories lies an organization dedicated to preserving the ancient connection between humanity and the Earth itself. Diana's private greenhouse, occupying the entirety of the Foundation's rooftop, contains specimens that would revolutionize botanical science if they were ever studied. Plants from the ancient world thought extinct for millennia, hybrid species that shouldn't be possible, and flowers whose pollen contains traces of pure magic. Here she maintains a living archive of every plant that has ever grown on Earth, each one a backup copy against the day she might need to restore a species from extinction. Her modern crusade takes many forms. She battles agribusiness giants in corporate boardrooms, her arguments backed by centuries of agricultural knowledge that she presents as advanced research. She leads protests against the destruction of ancient farmland, standing with activists while secretly working small magics to make the soil reject industrial development. Her organization buys up threatened land and converts it to organic farming, each property becoming a hidden sanctuary for nature spirits displaced by urbanization. The Foundation's seed bank, supposedly just another conservation project, is actually a magical repository holding the essence of Earth's fertility itself. The temperature-controlled vaults contain row upon row of carefully preserved seeds, each one blessed with a fragment of divine power. In times of crisis, she can use these seeds to restore life to dead soil or protect crops from disaster. The security systems protecting the vault include both cutting-edge technology and ancient wards that would incinerate any thief. Diana maintains a network of modern priestesses disguised as agricultural scientists and environmental activists. These chosen few know her true identity and help maintain the ancient mysteries in modern forms. What appear to be team-building retreats are actually revised Eleusinian ceremonies, teaching initiates the sacred connections between life, death, and rebirth through the cycles of nature. Her greatest sorrow remains the loss of her daughter, though the modern world knows nothing of Persephone's fate. Every winter, Diana retreats to a private estate in Greece, where she mourns her daughter's descent to the underworld. The modern media speculates about these annual disappearances, creating tabloid stories about health issues or secret romances, never guessing the true reason for the powerful environmentalist's regular absences. Climate change has become her most pressing battle, representing a threat to the natural order unlike anything she's faced before. She sees it as a modern hubris as dangerous as any ancient king's defiance of divine law. Through the Foundation, she funds research into sustainable technologies while secretly working earth magic on a global scale to help stabilize weather patterns and protect vulnerable ecosystems. Her conflict with modern agriculture takes on epic proportions, though few recognize it for what it is. When she speaks against GMO crops, she's really fighting the corruption of life's sacred patterns. Her promotion of organic farming methods is an attempt to restore humanity's ancient covenant with the earth. Every farmer's market she supports becomes a tiny temple to the old ways. Every community garden, a seed of rebellion against humanity's disconnection from nature. The Foundation's latest project, a worldwide network of sustainable farming communities, is actually an attempt to create sanctuaries where the old magic can still flow freely. Each community is built on ley lines, their layouts matching ancient sacred geometries disguised as efficient agricultural design. Here, she trains a new generation in the old ways, teaching them to hear the earth's songs beneath the rumble of tractors and the hum of irrigation systems. Diana's public persona is carefully crafted. She's known as a passionate but pragmatic environmentalist, a scientist who sometimes speaks with almost religious fervor about the importance of preserving natural agricultural methods. Her TED Talks go viral, her interviews make headlines, and her public debates with industry leaders often end with her opponents seeming strangely confused, as if they've forgotten their strongest arguments. In her war against industrial agriculture, she employs both modern and ancient weapons. The Foundation's lawyers file injunctions, while she whispers to the soil, turning it against chemical fertilizers. Her scientists publish peer-reviewed studies on sustainable farming, while she works subtle magics to help organic crops thrive. She fights pesticides with environmental regulations and ancient purification rituals performed under the full moon. Her newest initiative involves urban farming, converting abandoned lots into productive gardens. Each site is carefully chosen for its proximity to old power lines, the raised beds and hydroponic systems arranged in patterns that echo ancient Greek temples. The local communities see only the benefits of fresh produce and green space, never noticing how the gardens seem to prosper despite poor soil and bad weather, or how participants in the farming programs find themselves remembering agricultural techniques they never learned. The Foundation's educational programs serve as cover for identifying potential initiates into the ancient mysteries. College interns who show particular sensitivity to the Earth's rhythms might find themselves invited to special, advanced seminars where the true knowledge is shared. Some of these chosen few have reported seeing their elegant mentor in strange places, walking through wheat fields at midnight, her feet hovering above the ground, or standing in blighted areas that burst into bloom at her touch. Even in the age of satellites and soil sensors, Demeter's oldest powers remain. She can still curse lands with infertility or bless them with abundance, though she must be more subtle now, making crop failures look like natural disasters and bumper harvests appear to be the result of good farming practices. Her ancient role as guardian of nature's mysteries continues, though the ceremonies are now hidden behind closed corporate doors rather than temple walls. Diana Karpophoros moves through the modern world like a secret season, bringing hidden spring to wounded lands and withholding growth from those who abuse the earth's gifts. She fights her ancient battles with new weapons, lawsuits instead of curses, media campaigns instead of divine proclamations. But her essential nature remains unchanged. She is still Demeter, though she has traded her golden crown for a corporate title, still working to maintain the sacred balance between humanity and the earth that feeds them. In quiet moments, standing in her rooftop greenhouse under the light of a full moon, Diana sometimes lets her modern disguise fade entirely. In these private ceremonies, she renews her connection to the earth itself, singing the ancient songs that make seeds sprout and flowers bloom. These moments of pure divine power remind her of her true purpose, not just to preserve nature, but to maintain humanity's sacred connection to the source of all life. For she knows that as long as people plant seeds with hope and harvest crops with gratitude, her power will endure, adapting to each new age while remaining as eternal as the cycles of growth and decay she has always governed.